Good morning, everyone. Today we will start Session 3 of Unit 4 Entrepreneurship as a Career Option. In this session, we are going to discuss entrepreneurship as a possible career option. You might have observed these days entrepreneurship has been either a fashion for some and a passion for some. As per a survey, about 83% of youth think of entrepreneurship as their career option. Although the interest has definitely increased the success rates, but still it is around 5 to 6%. Means out of those 83% of the youth who want to become entrepreneur, only 5 to 6% succeed. This is because the most of the youth are fascinated by the fame and the glory of these entrepreneurs, but they doesn't know the exact situation, how they are facing, what they are facing, which type of risk are there, and what would happen if they fail. And many of these give up in between. They lose hope. When they face the failures, they lose hope and they give up. So, before choosing entrepreneurship as a career option, one must be clear about the challenges it may be facing. So, one simple test is here to evaluate ourselves whether entrepreneurship is our career choice or not. It is our career choice because of the fashion or the passion inside us. So, before choosing entrepreneurship as our career option, we must ask ourselves certain questions. These are the questions there. The first question is, what is my attitude towards work effort? We should ask this question to ourselves before choosing entrepreneurship as our career option. The reason behind is entrepreneurship demands much investment of work hours, and the intensity of work effort at initial stages is very crucial. Successful entrepreneurs must work long and hard hours and put their new ventures ahead of their personal and family life. So, if one is ready for all these things, he may choose the entrepreneurship as a career. The second is, how much risk can I bear regarding investment and income? We all know that entrepreneurship is totally with a risk. It involves risk about capital you invested, and there is no certainty about the income also. There is no guarantee if the venture would be profitable and how much time it will take to be profitable. And it may also result in a complete failure also. So, if one is ready to take such a risk, he or she may choose entrepreneurship as a career. The third question is, what is my attitude towards independence or freedom? We think entrepreneurs having a lot of freedom regarding the work hours, freedom regarding the decision making, and so on. But we must ask ourselves whether we prefer for decision making control or we like someone to take the decisions for us. If we are becoming an entrepreneur, we should be independent in decision making. We should be the sole responsible for our own decisions, whether they are going on the success path or they are going for the failures. So, it is up to us. We need to decide whether we can work independently and believe on our decisions, or we need someone else to work with us, to order or guide us. So, if someone is ready to walk alone on an unknown path, we can take entrepreneurship as a career option. The fourth question is, am I ready to take crucial decisions? Again, entrepreneurs have no one to supervise us. So, whether correct them or guide them or to take decisions for them, they have to do all the things by themselves. So, if someone is having a clear vision of their venture, someone is ready to take the crucial decisions, then they can choose the entrepreneurship as their career option. So, if someone is handling and appearing for this small evaluation test, and if the answer of all these questions is yes, they can go for entrepreneurship as their career option. After this, if someone chooses entrepreneurship as their career option, here are some tips for their startup success. The first and the preliminary thing is alignment. We need to find an idea that resonates with our passion, interest, and skill. If we are choosing an idea and we are not interested in that, we doesn't have spark in ourselves for that, we cannot go with that. So we should have an idea which is aligned to our interest, which is in favor of our interest. Second point is desirability. The idea that we had chosen must address some real needs of a large number of customers. Means if we are starting some business, we must find the customers. If the number of customers and their needs are so only few, we cannot go for that. So we must find and address the real needs of large number of customers in a manner that no other startup can or does. Our idea should be unique and it should be in favor of the customers only. The third point is feasibility. The team and resource that we choose should be very feasible and it should be capable of converting the idea into a usable product or service. That means they must understand our vision and should be capable of converting it into reality. Fourth, viability. Customers should be willing to pay adequate money for the product or service that we are starting so that we can get the profits. Otherwise, if we are not getting the enough payback, it would not be successful. We would be in loss. Now, once we had chosen entrepreneurship as a career option and we are ready with a plan, we have a business plan ready to go with that, then the need comes for the funds. If we have the funds, then no issues. But if we want to get the funds, then we have certain options. There are different ways to get the finance for our startup. The major ways are, the first is equity financing. Equity financing means raising finance for our startup against a share of equity. That is, would get the fund from someone, but we need to lose some equity of our business. And the one who is funding would become the co-owner for our startup business. He would have the share to our equity. For example, if a company, say Tata, have invested in our startup against 40% share of equity, that means the Tata Group would be the owner of 40% share of our company and we would be the owner of remaining 60% of the equity. So whatever would be the profit, it would be 60% ours and 40% for the Tata Group. Now, there can be two types of equity financing. The first is angel investors and the second is venture capitals or private equity. If any company has conviction in our product, they will be willing to fund for our venture in return for ownership equity or convertible debt. The capital angel may provide a one-time investment to help propel the business. Means they would help to initialize our business or inject funds on an ongoing basis to support and carry the company through its difficult early stages. These are also called as high net worth individuals or HNIs. The second is venture capitalist or private equity. These are companies or funds that raise funds from various sources and use the corpus to further fund startups. They are ready to invest in small businesses, funding young, unproven companies that appear to have a great idea and a great management team. The second type of financing is debt financing. This is a way of raising finance for our startup through debts from various financial institutes. Nowadays, there are various options as various financial institutes from where we can raise the finance. The first type is loan from banks and NBFCs. Here, NBFCs means non-banking finance companies. So these banks and non-banking finance companies grant loans for startups against the fulfillment of some rules. We need to fill certain forms and we need to follow certain rules to get finance from these. Second is external commercial borrowings. Funds can also be obtained from non-resident lenders, commonly called as external commercial borrowings or ECB. The third is venture debt. It is a type of debt financing provided to venture-backed companies by specialized banks or non-bank lenders to fund working capital or capital expenses. So, these are some other unconventional modes of financing options which are now becoming popular. So, these are general ways of getting the finance. The third is government grant and support. Nowadays, government has started and launched many schemes by which the entrepreneurs can get the finance. This is mainly to promote the entrepreneurship in our country. As we know, entrepreneurship plays a very important role in the economy and growth of our country. So, government has launched many schemes to promote these entrepreneurs. One such scheme is Startup India scheme. This scheme is an initiative of the Indian government and the primary objective of this scheme is promotion of startups, generation of employment and wealth creation. It was launched on 16 January 2016 by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In this scheme, the new entrants are granted a tax holiday for 3 years. Means they don't have to pay the taxes for 3 years. Apart from that, there are other government loan schemes for small businesses. For example, the Credit Guarantee Fund scheme for micro and small enterprises (CGS). Second is Mudra Loan scheme. Third is Stand Up India scheme. The details of it are given on page number 8.94 on your book. So, just read the details of these schemes given on the given page. So, with this we end up this session here. Have a good day.